Okay, so I'm taking a walk on the string side for a while in my Chic Sparrow personal size, very pebbly, very dark Pemberley. And I've held off on trying strings for everyday planning for quite some time because I like my ring binders, I like the inserts I'm using, and I felt like I didn't want to have to recopy everything into a notebook so that I could use a string notebook. So I've kind of thought about it, and I've worked out a way, I think, to incorporate lists and other things where I don't want to lose that history by copying, and such that I can go back to rings anytime I want, because I do get bored. And one of the main reasons, again, that I have held off going to strings is that I want to be able to go back and forth between strings and rings without a whole lot of headache and copying over. So let me show you what I have, and we'll see how long this will work. I feel comfortable that this will work in terms of adding a notebook into my planner rotation, which is really, really what I want. So I made some pom-poms. That's been a lot of fun. And so I have one here to keep Mr. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man company. And I made some others to use as bookmarks at some point. So let's go in. And so I had an inscription, slow and steady, from my favorite fable. And so I do enjoy Prismacolor coloring greeting farm images. I will color these, cut them out, and then I use them for greeting cards and other projects, and it's just fun to do. So this is Wednesday from a la Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family. Love her, and October's coming and kind of Halloween, so I thought she'd be appropriate. So in my pockets here, business cards, some all-over stickies. This is my Planner Ninja. She comes from the Book Nook on Etsy. I'll have a link below, and this is just a die cut for decoration. And I have some more decorative paper back here, and also behind there, a journaling card. So this dashboard is actually like a checkbook cover, and I had it in my stash, and it's a little wider than those clear covers that you get on the cheap calendars from Walmart and Michael's. I tried those, and they were just a little too narrow this way. But I found this is one of those things I had saved, and now I thought, okay. So I embellished, I put Wednesday in the front, as you can see, and more decorative paper behind that, some some sticky notes, my year on a card calendar. This is part of the wrapping paper that this traveler's notebook came wrapped in, okay, and one of those Hobby Lobby calendar clips. And so inside and on the top, I've used, to get to the month on 2 pages, I've put some of those tabs that I've talked about in an earlier video, and this insert goes through the end of December, and Chic Sparrow should be coming out, according to their website, with 2017 inserts soon. So inside, this is September. There's some things I don't really want to show, but I have them covered, and I just beg your patience with that. So the paper is beautiful and takes markers and some watercolor pencils and things pretty well. I haven't tried that. I like to keep my month on 2 pages kind of very white, lots of room. Otherwise, I find it very distracting. So I started this in late September, as you can see, and these are just friction markers. It's kind of fun to decorate with those, because if I don't like it or go outside the lines in a way that bothers me, I can erase it. And so that's just a laminated piece of cardstock, and this paper was from an old Graphic 45 collection way back, and I don't know if it's still available. Okay, so now you see my vitamins. It has the month on 2 pages in the front, then it has a week on 2 pages. Following this month on 2 pages, excuse me, I'm trying to stay so y'all can see. Following the month on 2 pages, there is 2 pages of grid paper, which I'm trying that for a tracking chart for myself. Following that is the applicable week on 2 pages. So let me show you the week on 2 pages, blank, so you can get an idea. There you go, and it's beautiful. I love the color of this paper. It's, as you can see, kind of an off-white cream color. It's lighter than the Filofax cream paper that comes with the more expensive ring binders, I think. And the ink is a very nice pale gray. and it's beautiful. The only thing I don't like about this ink is that if you try to erase it with a friction or any sort of highlighter, it smears a little bit. But other than that, I really can't say anything against this insert. I'm really, really enjoying it. So here's a month on 2 pages for November, okay? And let me show you my October. Here is the immediately following it, the 2 pages of grid paper. Now, I had a problem at first doing my tracking because it's small. There are not 30 or 31 columns or rows this way or that way. So I played around. I did a version in pencil first, and with the friction pen, the one I have back here that I'll show you in a second, I went ahead and doubled up some items to track, and I can just track them within each square, diagonally, blue here, pink there. And then I split up the month, so for the first couple weeks here and the last part of the month here, and just copied that over. So far, so good. And that leaves me a space here for notes or, crazy artwork. And this is October, and these are some Allie Brown banner stickers, and these are from Michael's. They were in my stash. And again, I did these colors are friction markers, and it's just kind of fun to color with those. Okay, so moving on. So in the back of this Chic Sparrow 3-month insert, these were from my stash, and it's just 2 cards that I glued back to back and then laminated, and got this idea from a very clever YouTuber about using this for personal tracking and developing habits. And since it's laminated, I can just use a dry erase marker on it. I just made this and there's nothing on it. Decorative paper that I attached to the inside cover of this insert, and then you can see where the rest of that brown paper, it's just slip covered. And if you look at one of my old videos, I show how to just do old school style slip covering of inserts to change the decor or to use it to create a homogeneous look for inserts when you store them. And so here we go. She was in my stash. I just embellished her a little bit and laminated her. The thought is someday to make her into a bookmark. So, and I mixed and matched the sizes of my inserts, and I really don't have a problem with that. I have a Chic Sparrow A6 insert that I absolutely love. I tried it for kind of quasi-planning and did a double system with that and one of my ring binders to go to see if I liked it and to get used to it. A6 is just a weird size for me to use for planning. Journaling, awesome. I still love it. I'll never get rid of that notebook because I love it so much. But I have some beautiful inserts from Paper Penguin Co. on Etsy, and I did not want them to sit in a drawer. So I said, I'm going to mix and match my sizes. I don't care. So here is the back of this dashboard cover, whatever. Here's another Greeting Farm Images. This is Snow White. She's in a quandary about the apple. And this is one of those snap pocket photo storage pockets from Michael's. And to the extent that the pattern on behind Snow White matches up at all, was just sheer dumb luck. That's all I can say. So you lift her up, and then there's some vellum here and a reusable sticky that I use, or highlighter. And then these are some Hobonichi highlighter stickers, and also some of those UB Post-it notes from Target. Love the UB. I mentioned those before in another video because they have a super stick, and I just love them. So here's one of those Paper Penguin Co. inserts. And it's to get A6 to work in this notebook without sticking way out and interfering with pen loops, because I did want to carry more than one pen. I wrapped it around an onion skin journaling insert that I made, and I just sewed it with some baker's twine that came in a package from a friend, and you can see the twine here. And so this A6 insert, also from Paper Penguin, is wrapped around the journaling insert, and it's onion skin. I have that in an old Midori, an old Chic Sparrow journaling notebook. I still use it there, so you get lots of pages, very little space, kind of like Tomoe River paper. So here's the back of that Paper Penguin insert. The paper is a beautiful pale lavender color, and I'm using this as a capture section to keep my scrawl contained, and so that I could get 3 items per page, writing down work hours, phone numbers, blah, blah, blah. I drew lines across, so I'm going to try to limit my writing for each item within this space. So I'm going to give it a go. We'll see. And then moving back here, here's my mummy. She is also from the Book Nook, okay? Just like the my Planner Ninja came from. They have the cutest bookmarks ever, and they have like hundreds, and it's so difficult to pick one. So I picked like 3 or 4. And so here's the front of that onion skin insert. This paper is from Cosmo Cricket from the Little Man collection. It's from long, long ago, y'all, and it was just in my stash, so I used it. And so let's see, stickers from Michael. So here's another Greeting Farm image. This is a firefighter, and so he lives there, Prismacolor pencils and sealed. I like to protect these images, obviously, against dings. They are sealed, but even so, they're attached with temporary adhesive, and if I want to use them into a project, then I want to be able to remove them. And then in the meantime, I want them to stay protected. So they're either in a pouch or like this one, covered with a piece of vellum. And this is, again, vellum that I used for my A6. I just liked it, and it was functional, so I put it in. And so this dashboard, this, you can see that there's some transparency plastic acetate, and this is from my stasher, my dogs, I'm so sorry. It was stamped with Stays On ink with a grid stamp that I had. I found it, almost threw it out when I was doing a clean out, and I thought, so I attached it to the front of a dashboard, and you'll see the back of it as we go along. I attached it with brads to kind of obviously hold it in place, and because it's not laminated. Okay, so here's the inside of a dashboard, and it's just paper. This booklet, and here's another Book Nook. This is so cute. This is for my special needs child, this booklet, and I'm not going to open it up, but it is Tomoe River paper from Paper Penguin, and again, it screamed function to me, and I wasn't going to have it sit in the drawer. And so lots of Target dollar spot pockets around here. This holds copies of his insurance cards, and this holds photos of him. And in here I have another pocket on the inside cover that has copies of his current med list, current doctor and teacher list with contact information. So if I'm somewhere where I need to share that, I can pull the copy out. Additionally, belt and suspenders approach, I have a hard copy of those noted within the pages of this notebook. The only problem with going strings is that I do not have a back pocket. So I'm working on that. I can always fold a sheet of paper and stick it inside of a string within the center of a notebook, but I don't know. And that's the thing that's held me back from strings for a long time, but I'm working on that. So this is a quasi dashboard. It has my contact information. It is the back half, actually, of that stamped acetate right here. Okay, that grid stamped acetate. And I went to Hot Topic, that store of all pop culture randomness, and they had some Suicide Squad cards there. I thought that was a fun comic movie. So I made the king and queen and glued them together with some playing card style note cards I had, laminated it and cut it out. And you can see I didn't do a very good job, but it's functional and I like it. So in the back of that, here are those playing card playing card style note cards. I decorated them with some stickers. And then here, attached to the back of the vellum that's protecting the little fireman, it's one of my favorite quotes, a vellum quote that I had in my stash. Stack of those stickers and other stickers, and it's a quote by Nora Roberts, and I absolutely love it. And it seemed like a good place here. So here's some weirdness. Okay, this is a laminated dashboard that I made, again, with two-sided paper from my stash. This is where I settled my stomach in terms of moving from rings to strings. I didn't want to, again, recopy all of my lists because I didn't want to lose the history of different pens, crossouts, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't want it to be too homogenous within, I don't know, it's me. What can I say? I have to do these things slowly, baby steps. So here's another one of those Target dollar spot pockets, my Lily print stickers that I showed before. I cut them in half so they would fit. Horse stickers for my son's horse riding lessons, stamps, and just a little decorative thingy there. So let's take these out. This is two-sided paper, pretty thin. Okay, it's not cardstock. And behind the ollie clip, I reinforced the crease, and you can see I use brads, and I put them threaded them all the way through my list section and attached through here. And so this is a bound booklet that's sitting on a string within this laminated dashboard. And when it had to be paper because it was slick too much. I don't know, to give it stability and to hold it in place, this is what I got, because the personal size paper is kind of difficult to fit into a personal size notebook because Filofax gives an allowance for the rings. So my lists in here are in here as is, and the tracking charts that I've showed in my Giglio video are in here. And yes, there's a crease here, so I can flip through. But that's a compromise. And if I go back to rings, that's really not going to bother me. And I've considered putting holes in the top and use these brads this way so I could flip up. That would be a little bit easier to access the area near the margin. But then I would have that would have been something to really reconcile if I moved back to rings. So I elected for this. And I'm trying this, and I know it's strange, but I have my lists. I have my beloved lists in here. I have all the history from them. And most important to me, again, I want to put this notebook within my ring binder rotation. And this gives me the flexibility to do that. And so I have my list here. I have my tracking charts from Ray, My Life All in One Place, my birthday insert there. Here is that same Giglio pocket storage insert, and it opens from the outside. My other one opens from the inside. I don't know why. This one opens from the outside, and so I can keep it as is with my stuff. So here is the back paper cover of what I showed you in the front, right here. Okay, and you can see how the Filofax pages stick out a little bit. So I had to cut this paper in order to fit that. Back of the brads, okay, and the reason I had it within a laminated dashboard is because I didn't want these to rub against the leather, and so this protects the notebook from the brads, okay, and also keeps this notebook stable within the whole notebook. More vellum, I got this from Joanne's prayer booklet. Here's my last greeting farm image colored with pencil. This is Twirl Anya, and she's inside one of those snap pockets, but I glued it down. I didn't want her flapping around because then she was kind of competing with this pocket, and I didn't want her to get bent. Here's another Book Nook clip. I'm doing a Plexus program with drinks to control glucose levels, blah, blah, blah. Y'all have seen that before. And so this is just a reminder. I think it looks cute with her, and it's a reminder to drink. And my Hobonichi stencil, I put some gold foil washi on the edge because my planning table is quite cluttered, and this always gets lost in the shuffle. A friction 0.4 pen. I love this. I got this from Tokyo Pen Shop, and so I'm giving friction on the go, giving friction a go within my planning setup. This comes in all colors, but I'm really liking the purple. So I'm just trying the one. And this pen loop is one that I made in Glenda Sland's style. Kate Bernasconi has a tutorial for making these that Glenda shared, allowed her to do, and but you can go to Glenda's, I think it's Paperflower. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'll put a link below. And so this is the notebook. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below. And you guys have a great day. Take care.